1993. After the death of her lover in a car accident, Spanish-born Natalie moved to the US and became a real estate agent. She's pregnant, but her career isn't going well, so now she needs to push herself and finally sell the house her bosses consider a lost cause. The problem is its previous owners were murdered there, and not many people are eager to buy such a property. Another open house day comes, and no one shows up, except for a strange man who turns out to be a psychopathic killer. At the core of any film lies conflict, but thrillers and horror movies crank that conflict up into a full-blown battle, doing everything possible to give the antagonist a clear advantage over the protagonist. The classic setup? A confined space and a defenseless woman against an armed man. But that's just the basic foundation of a good thriller. The victim's situation should be even more complicated. For example, in Mike Flanagan's Hush, the killer breaks into a deaf woman's home, while in The Intruders, the protagonist suffers from agoraphobia and can't leave the house. Push follows this trend, burdening Natalie not only with a hesitant personality and psychological trauma from her lover's death, but also a very real physical limitation. She's pregnant. By the end of the first act, as soon as it becomes clear that the mysterious visitor has sinister intentions, her water breaks. She struggles to move, she's in pain, and she's about to go into labor. But the killer outright states his plan to cut the baby out of her womb, forcing Natalie to fight. The film takes its time setting things up. The directing duo David Charbonier and Justin Powell are in no rush. After a brief teaser, they give us plenty of time to get to know the heroine and the house where the action will take place. Natalie wanders its halls, prepping for potential buyers, while Charbonnier and Powell carefully place Chekhov's guns on the walls, each of which will inevitably go off when the time comes. For most of the film, there are only two characters on screen, but Charbonnier and Powell are no strangers to the thriller genre and understand perfectly well that the setting needs refreshing and the stakes need raising. So, from time to time, secondary characters wander into the frame, and the final showdown, as per genre tradition, takes place in a hospital. The film's old-school vibe is further emphasized by its 1993 setting, though this seems mainly to complicate the heroine's life by depriving her of a cell phone. Whether Charbonnier and Powell made a good movie or not is hard to say. Push isn't easy to judge in such terms. It's technically well-crafted, skillfully directed, neatly acted, and overall a very well-written genre piece. Yet it doesn't evoke as much emotion as one might hope, and it certainly won't surprise anyone. There's a worn-out term for this kind of film, a solid mid-tier effort. And Push fits that description 100%. On paper, there's nothing to criticize, but you'll probably never feel the urge to rewatch it.